When I was 8 years old, I was once told by a teacher who was obsessed with lizards that we have cameras in our minds which record everything. I remember the feeling of an instant spark when I realised that we are born with metaphorical cameras in our minds. Everything we see is recorded for our brain to play back every now and then. We remember the best of times, the worst of times, and unfortunately, we even subconsciously remember the most cringeworthy moments. Everything we hear adds to the soundtrack of our life, whether it's the birds chirping, or the cars beeping, or even the sound of that song in the restaurant that you are desperate to figure out who sings it. Life is constantly changing, and as I am sitting here waiting for a job interview, I realise that the waves of life are not necessarily a bad thing after all. We have grown since we were kids. We are all developing our own journeys, despite the feeling that we can't bounce back as quickly as we used to when we were younger. We worry about what's next, and instead of thinking about the next month, or year, or 5 years, I remembered that in most films that I have ever watched in my life, you never really remember a character thinking about the future. More often than not, they stay present in the story they are in. Maybe that's what we have to do more of. It's easy to become focused on what's next and fixate on what's past. But what's important is right now. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you doing? Who are you with? And what are you experiencing? This is what I begin to stay focused on. So, I leave you with this. Today, who will you see? What will you do? How will you spend your daily battery? What will you record next to reflect your inner spark?